everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is David. Today is freaking Saturday and it is beautiful outside. What I like to do is I like to do a few things today, including showing you guys what I use for my camera gear. Since I'm a cheap ass, you guys might be wondering, well,
how does he get by with what he's got?
Well, here's an example, okay? I'm gonna show you guys everything that I use, all the way down to my DIY ring light tripod. I have multiple tripods. I have one that I use for my outdoor projects, like when I'm cutting the wood, if I'm grinding metal, if I'm spray painting. That's the reason I use that is because I had my original one is the one I use for my outside stuff, and there was a lot of dust everywhere and it was just destroyed. I had to keep taking my battery pack because I have a battery pack for my GoPro that I use to film outside, so I had to keep taking that off and adding that on. What I ended up doing around Christmas time, they had a special for tripods at Best Buy, and of course it was a cheap tripod, plastic and a little bit of aluminum, and it was selling for about $10 a piece, so I ended up buying like 3 of them because I had to take them apart, one of them completely to take apart. And the other one that I had outside that I had to keep on cleaning every time I brought it out is the one I used for outside, for my GoPro only. The one I use in my room now that is clean, never goes outside no matter what, because I don't want dust on it, I don't want any type of debris, nothing at all, no paint. I never bring my Canon out when I'm spray painting or doing any type of woodwork because of the dust. I did that once and it made a mess, huge mess. I'm gonna start off by showing you guys what for my camera and all the other little things that go on. Then I'm gonna switch over to my GoPro to show you guys what my camera looks like now. It hasn't changed much since the last time you guys saw it, but it has changed enough to look a little bit different, probably a little weird, but you guys will get the picture. I'll start off with the batteries. All right, so now you have, this is a dual charger for the batteries for my Canon M50. I have the original one in the camera right now, but this one is an aftermarket and this one's an aftermarket. These two are exactly the same. I bought them as together. This is the charger that came with my camera. Going to find a place to mount this, I'm not sure yet, which is the reason I haven't mounted it yet. This here takes a long time to charge because it's USB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find a USB adapter that charges at 3 amps to help these charge faster. I do plan on mounting this on the wall, so this way when I want to plug in my battery, all I have to do is just slide it in and leave it like that. This was my original LED for my camera. Bought this one super duper cheap. I had this mounted on my camera since I got my camera. I bought this like probably 2 weeks after, and it has really worked very well. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you it hasn't. This cost me, I think it was $16. I'm not really sure, I don't remember. Maybe even less, I'm not 100%. But anyways, this thing is awesome. Problem with this light is this dial right here started to die. This dial right here, because you constantly moving it, it gets hot. Part itself is not a very good part, which is the reason why it died out. Moving on to the next thing, this is my new LED battery and charger. So this thing here, this is a Sony battery for the camera, and it's also the battery that came with my new light. So what I did is I ended up buying another one. Is this the one? No, I lied. This is not the one that came with my camera. Stupid. I bought separately. As you can see, it's the same brand as the other batteries I bought for the camera. The one that came with my light is actually on the light. I like the fact that it has rechargeable batteries for the light, so I'm actually happy about that. That's one of the reasons why I bought my new light the way I did, is because it had a rechargeable battery. It came with this charger, which is fine. I mean, you can tell it's cheap. It's not really certified, so I don't usually keep this plugged in at all. I charge with it, and once I'm done, like for the weekend, I unplug it for the whole week because I don't trust it. It's not, as you can see, there's no UL, there's no ETL, there's no safety regulations on this. Recently I picked this up. So this is a USB similar to this one, to keep plugged into the wall. I'm hoping if I get a 3 amp charger, I can actually get one with 2 ports, because I want to keep these mounted side by side with the other one camera, and I like to have 2 batteries charging at all times. This light actually runs for a long time on one charge, so that's really good. I like that a lot. Here I have a ring light that I bought. This one is actually only 8 inches. I bought this because I was going to make a ring light on my camera attached to the battery, a separate battery, but then I changed my mind on it, and now I just have this in a box. This is actually just a regular, cheap Chinese ring light. Here is my little kit. This is what I keep my GoPro. This is kind of like just the way I store it. If I take this out in the morning to go get coffee with you guys, when you guys see me getting coffee or driving around, this is actually the kit that I use. I just like to keep it well when I need the chargers or anything. Everything is here. So basically, it's pretty roughed up because I've been using this for almost a year now. So what I have here in this kit is I have the cable. So whenever I need this cable, it's always here. I don't have to go looking around. I also have a USB extension cable in case I need to plug it in to the actual outlet. I have enough cable here. This is 10 feet. And then this one is 3 feet. So that's 13 feet. I have this charger, which is 2 amps. It's actually a very good charger. It works very well. I mean, it really juices this thing up fast. Here you have the handle. This thing is pretty cool. This is just a very cheap $5 handle, grip, whatever you want to call it. So this actually, you just mount the camera on top and then you just hang on to it. And also it has these legs that open up, so you can actually mount this in the car. This is what I actually use. So you just push the button in, curve it down, and it sits nicely on the dashboard. And then you have the GoPro, which it isn't a GoPro at all. If you can see the name on it, it's called Active On CX. So this camera actually is very similar to the GoPro quality. The only thing that I don't like about this camera is the audio. It's terrible. And here is my SD card. So this is what I use for all my data saving on all my cameras. I actually ended up buying the 128 because I just like knowing that I don't run out of room. 128 to me is very good. I mean, I would never leave, too much information. When I transfer them to my computer, what I use for that next step, my daughter made me that Sharky. If you look here, you can see that I have, this is actually a port, USB hub that I bought with 3 USB 3 ports and my micro SD and regular standard SD card slot. Now what we have is my main tripod. These are all entry-level tripods. Nobody professionally uses these things. I mean, these things weigh probably like 2 pounds if that. Super cheap, nothing spectacular going on here. I do plan on getting a better tripod very soon, definitely within the next 6 months. But for right now, this has served me very well. There is no complaints about it. The only thing I don't like is that my camera is getting too heavy now. So once I put the camera on top, you can see that it's really struggling to hold it. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I really would like to get a little bit more heavier, more sturdier tripod now that I have something separate for my DIYs, which is that one. But now I only use this for outside when I'm cutting wood and when I'm recording, like me painting or anything like that. This thing's gone through hell now. You can tell it looks like crap. So here's the battery pack that I use. And this one I think is 20,000 milliamps. Here is my DIY ring light. So basically this tripod is exactly the same as these three. This I also bought for $10. Same time when I bought my main one from my. So I took the top off of this one, put in my tool room. So when I'm recording project, it has the same top. I don't have to be removing the bottom plate of the cameras. So what I did is I bought this one for like just over $9, almost 10. What I did is I just took the top off, and in here is just a flat stub head, right? I just drilled through it. I added one of those multi-screw, like it has 2 screw heads on it. So that's what I did with this, and since it's kind of a standard size, I actually had no problem attaching this to it. One more thing, just in case whoever's watching this didn't watch my original videos, I'm going to show you guys a DIY mount that I did in my tool room, so when I'm recording stuff, doing projects, I can record what I'm doing. This is my DIY wall mount, which has multiple flexibility options here. So the camera is the same base, it mounts right there, and it just can be pulled out to look over my shoulder while I'm doing a project. So I like having that here because I use that a lot actually, so that's great. So that will conclude this episode. I wanted you guys to see all my budget friendly stuff that I use for my camera. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Peace.
I am a prodigy, I am a leader, they follow me.